Okay, a little video response here to Nuker about his video about Matt Serra and GSP. Now, don't take this as a personal attack. This is a disagreement, and I'm going to voice it in a video. Rather than comment on your video, because I thought there was a little too much to bring about in terms of text. I'm not so good with words, so I was thinking the video might be a better choice. Hopefully you'll accept the response, hopefully not. Or hopefully you'll accept it and not decline it. But anyways, this is about GSP, Matt Serra, of course, at UFC 83. Now, you do bring out some good points. Like, I do believe that you were right about the Koscheck-GSP fight, that GSP beat Koscheck because he came with a strategy that was unexpected by Koscheck. But there's a couple of things that I have problems with here. And one, I'll start with the physical strength and work my way up. Okay, Matt Serra is a former 155er. He was a decently sized 155er. He is quite small at 170. Now, what does this mean, you might ask? Well, traditionally, how many 155ers come up to 170? And this was a large problem when the UFC banned the 155 division and stopped doing lightweight fights, is that a lot of the lightweight fighters couldn't really do much at 170, with the exception of BJ Penn, of course, but BJ Penn is a freak. But they were generally overpowered. And you're looking at GSP, who has... Okay, you may be right about KO power, although if you watch his Jay Haran fight, I think you might kind of realize that GSP does have KO power. He wrecked shop on Haran, and it wasn't with like a flash punch. It was a cumulatively beating punishment that was taken by Jay Haran that put him down. Maybe he does not have one punch KO power, but that's not for me to say. But I'm going to look at the strength that actually I think will come into more of a play here, and that is strength in the clinch and strength in the wrestling and grappling games. Now, we do have GSP, who basically overpowered Matt Hughes. He did have enough strength to take Koscheck off his feet and put him on his back, and enough technique. Now, you could probably argue that maybe the first takedown Koscheck did not see coming at all, but I mean, from that point on, Koscheck should be ready a little bit more. He should be kind of seeing that GSP may go for a takedown again, and he should have been able to stop a few takedowns. He came close on a few occasions, but he never did. That I remember anyways, I could be wrong. So this is what I'm saying, is that in the clinch, in the grappling game, GSP should be stronger than Matt Serra, who was not a terribly strong lightweight. He was strong, but he was not that strong. When he met up with similar level grapplers to himself, such as Shoney Carter, Dean Thomas, and so on, he can't submit them. So I don't think he can submit GSP. Well, he can. I mean, anything can happen, but I don't see it. Now, as for your comment about losses don't get avenged much, well, it does happen, because, I mean, think of Takadori Gomi avenging his loss to Marcus Aurelio. When he came in, he took Aurelio seriously, unlike the first time. This is not to make excuses for Gomi, because I really can't stand Gomi in a lot of ways. But the point remains that when he took it seriously, he did pretty much destroy Marcus Aurelio, although it was a bit boring and a bit lampreyish, and he didn't finish him. But, I mean, he dominated the fight and controlled it. Other examples with Thiago Alves, of course, avenged his loss to Derek Noble. Spencer Fisher avenged his loss to Sam Stout. I think it was Alves that avenged it to Noble. I'm not sure. It might have been someone else. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, anymore off the top of my head, but there are others that have happened, and he had been successfully avenged. Now, of course, a lot of high-profile ones haven't. I mean, Fedor has Nogueira's number. Rampage has Chuck's number. There's others that I can't really think of off the top of my head, but you know what I mean, like Krokop and Barnett and so on, that have shown that, yes, sometimes. But the thing is, when I feel that a superior fighter, or at least a fighter that maybe didn't come in as prepared, came a little injured, they seem to avenge their losses. And I think this is more the case with GSP Serra than, say, Rampage and Chuck, who just kind of came into a style mismatch. I mean, when you look at GSP's career, you say his opponents have been, you didn't use the word handpicked, but I'm going to use it here just because it maybe makes my point a little clear. Handpicked. I have to ask you, who would GSP have fought other than what he has fought in the UFC up to this point? In terms of top level fighters who he has not fought, John Fitch. John Fitch is, of course, just seemingly being held back by the UFC a little bit. And basically the only other one that really comes to mind is Thiago Alves, who he has not fought because Alves is a rising star, and I see that fight coming in the future. And that when GSP was working his way up into title contention, Alves was not at his level and was not in the picture for the title when GSP got there. But I mean, he has beaten Sean Shirk, Matt Hughes, Jason Miller, who, although his record in the UFC is, of course, 0-1, is a very good fighter. Carl Parisian, and so on. I guess you could maybe argue he never fought Nick Diaz, and maybe he should have, but that's not really... I don't really know about that. I think he would have beaten Diaz anyways. So here's the thing. When I break down this fight, I see GSP is the better striker, the better wrestler. Serra may be the better technical grappler, but I think the size and strength of GSP can kind of eliminate that fact and keep him on the bottom. Serra is not a great submission-oriented grappler. He is a good grappler in the forms of he has good positions, he has good transitions, but his literal submission ability is not that great. This is mainly because, I mean, if you look at him, he's not really built for it. He has short legs and so on. He doesn't have the lanky build of a guy who can lock on a go-go plotter from anywhere or an armbar from anywhere. You know what I mean? So I look at this fight, I just don't see it. Now, I mean, I know Serra can win. I mean, he proved that. He knocked out GSP. If GSP overlooks him, boom, he'll go down again. But I think a seriously training GSP, training with Greg Jackson's camp, will have the mental confidence and the thing. Now you do, and everything else required. Now you do bring up a good point. This is in Montreal. There is a lot of pressure on GSP. That could get him. And he is a bit of a mentally weak fighter, and it's something that has sort of disappointed me in the past. Like when he fought BJ Penn, I still say that maybe BJ was in his head a little bit, and he didn't fight to his full ability. And he's kind of said the same thing about his first fight with Matt Hughes, which I kind of agree with. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Matt Hughes look that good on transitions and against GSP, and that's a little bit odd to me. But that's just a theory. But I just don't see it. And sometimes your predictions that I don't agree with, they work out perfectly fine, and this one could too. And you'll have one-upped me again if Serra does win. But I just don't see it. I mean, better striker, stronger grappler, better wrestler, better conditioning, I think. And a bigger, stronger guy with better reach. Serra's reach is very short. Should be able to beat a guy who is a good BJJ practitioner, but not terribly great, who doesn't have terribly great submissions. He has heavy hands, but he does not have good technical ability on the feet. And he is an okay wrestler and an okay cardio guy. I just don't see it. That's all I got, really, for now. I'm going to post this. It's probably going to sound really stupid and a lot of rambling because I didn't script it, but them's breaks. Hope you accept.